Welcome back to Football U. In this video, we're going to be talking about Rip Liz coverage, cover 3 match against condensed formations. Going to start out going against a 2x2 condensed formation, and then a 3x1 condensed formation as well, and the different checks and adjustments that go along with that. My name is Colin Lark, founder of Football U and a former walk-on at the University of Georgia. If you get value out of this video, feel free to think about subscribing to the channel and check out our website at footballu.com to be able to dynamically visualize plays, assign out plays to your team to practice and rep from any phone or computer as many times as they want. But welcome to the video, and let's get into it. All right, so Rip Liz coverage against a 2x2 condensed formation. We're also going to go over 3x1 condensed in this video as well. But right now we're going to start out with 2x2 condensed, okay? So look, starting out, this will be a common theme throughout all of these videos, right? But every single coverage that we have, we always want to have 2 coverage concepts to either side of the ball that are going to let each player on that side know what their responsibility is in coverage, right? If it was a 2x2 open set, we'd just be saying rip sky or Liz sky to be able to tell the players that we're just playing regular Rip Liz match coverage. When it's 2x2 condensed, we're really going to be wanting to get more into our zone principles so that we're able to defend crossers, switch releases, and also any quick game as well to not get too caught up with anything going over here, right? So really, both guys on either side of the ball, this is going to be a mirrored concept to either side of the ball in coverage. We're going to call this coverage to either side is going to be what we call ice, all right? You can call this stuff whatever you want. I've heard it called different things, but right here, what we're going to call this is going to be called ice, all right? And really the responsibility of who's going to be calling this is going to be the curl flat component to either side. Right here in this picture, we got this nickel Sam right here. I'm going to have him as my star. And then also we got our down safety right here who is also going to be calling ice against this 2x2 condensed formation right here. So let's just get ice out here to let us know what the coverage concept to either side of the ball is going to be right now, okay? So we got ice to either side. What that's going to be saying is we still got our curl flat component to either side. I'm just going to go ahead and cover out this field side right here because this is a mirrored concept. All this stuff is going to apply to both sides of the ball, all right? So we got a curl flat component right here, all right? Curl flat component is really going to be playing more of our spot drop zone coverage right here, okay? If it's a condensed formation with number 2 attached to core right here, he's going to be split the difference between 2 and 1 right here. And he's going to be able to get underneath anything coming out to the flat. If we had something like this right here, he's going to be expanding out with the number 1 receiver to get underneath this. If we had a comeback or something like this where it's more of a longer developing and number 2 out to the flat right here, he'd be expanding with whoever is out to the flat, able to sail and get underneath whoever that next sail route is coming in behind him, all right? So that's our curl flat component to either side. That's going to be both our safety and our curl flat defender in this, and our star, excuse me, in this scenario. So that's going to be our curl flat component in ice right here, all right? Let's go over real quick our corners as well, all right? These guys are going to be our deep third players. And since this is a condensed formation, all right, typically what we would be saying is that this guy is going to be matching any type of an over at. Once number 1 is past a certain point, we're saying that corner is going to be matching that guy as if it was man-to-man coverage, right? With ice right here, all right, this is a little bit different, all right? This is a little bit more like our traditional spot drop cover 3 in this scenario, right? So if we get any type of a double seam concept or really just a verticals on the outside, right? This guy will be matching and able to get in between both of these guys. He's got help from his middle field safety. With these guys condensed, it's a lot easier for this middle field safety to help out on both seams in this scenario, right? So he's able to favor that number 1 as he's vertical, really playing that divider, 60-30, 60-40, excuse me. But he's going to be splitting the difference, able to play that number 1. And the good thing about ice right here is he still has this help underneath as well, right? So if this guy were to run a comeback or anything like that, he should have some help underneath to be able to help him out if this guy were to run a comeback. Like I said, this corner is going to have help underneath so that he doesn't have to be so quick to be able to drive that right here, okay? But obviously we got our midfield safety. That should go without saying, right? This is going to be our midfield, deep third player. He's going to have anything deep over the top, any type of deep post. If we get a double seam concept, he's going to be playing in between both of these guys. And with the condensed formation, it's actually a little bit easier for this guy to be able to play both of these guys vertical as they're going vertical, right? But we got to understand with ice, this is not going to be as good as traditional Rip Liz against a seam ball, right? So if we're expecting some seams, we'd be better off calling man coverage on this, or we could kill the ice and game plan it for that week and just say, hey, if we get 2 to the field right here and we're expecting some seam bowls, screw ice. We're not going to play ice. We're going to go ahead and continue to play Rip Liz, Rip Sky, whatever you want to call that, to that side, all right? So anyway, that's going to be ice, all right, to this side, all right? That's going to be our deep third player, our midfield player, and the last one we got inside is going to be our hook defender, all right? Now, what are we saying, right? Ice is more of our traditional spot drop cover 3, so that's going to apply to all these 3 guys, right? Corner, curl flat, and our hook defender as well. All these guys are really playing are more of our traditional spot drop cover 3 zone. What does that mean for a hook player? Our hook player means that instead of traditionally relating to number 3 in Rip Liz coverage, if we get 3 out to the flat, he does not have to expand with that guy right away, right? He can kind of work and wall number 2, get hands on number 2 as he's vertical through the seam to be able to help out your safety over the top. You can carry that guy a little bit, right? But we don't want to carry that guy too deep because we could have anything coming up over to your side over here as well, whether it be comebacks or whatever it is. But this guy's really going to be playing more of our traditional spot drop. Like I said, kind of a cover 3 zone type of a look, right? Getting hands on number 2 as he's vertical, pushing out to the hook, and he's going to be our second underneath guy to that side of the field, right? We've got our curl flat defender to take anything to the flat. We've got our hook defender right here to take the next number 2 as he's underneath to that side, right? So if we get something like this, corner will be over the top right here. Hook will be pushing to this hook window right here. And this star component right here, curl flat, would be able to push out to whoever that flat threat is to that side. All right, so that's going to be our hook defender. Like I said, if we get a 2x2 condensed right here, we're going to be calling ice to both sides of the ball. Make up a hand signal, whatever you want to do for your guys. But be ready to play ice against a 2x2 condensed set right here, okay? All right, so if we get a 3x1 condensed formation right here I have a bunch drawn up. Shouldn't really matter too much depending on whatever you get. You can have a cluster or any type of 3 guys condensed to the core right here. We're going to want a separate check for that, all right? So we got ice. We can actually call ice over here, this boundary right here, to let our safety know down here, this curl flat component that he's going to be playing is more traditional spot drop cover 3. I like this against condensed sets, even if it's just a single receiver. You can, if you want to, latch this guy backside. That would put this guy as a 4 and first crosser. This down safety right here is a 4 and first crosser. He'd be reading front side. The downfall with that is you'd have this corner basically matched up one-on-one man coverage against this this number 1 backside. So if you get any type of mesh or any type of an under right here, you're basically saying that your corner is going to be matching this guy on any unders, which I don't love against 3x1 condensed formations. You like this guy to be able to stay backside for any type of a over or seam concept. A real common one real quick is something like this out of a condensed formation right here. You don't want your corner, I wouldn't want my corner running with this shallow. I want this guy to be able to stay backside to be able to help out on any type of overs coming back to his side. So for that reason, like I said, even if you get a single receiver to this backside, I still like having this calling this ice concept back to this boundary right quick. to be able to keep this guy in zone and keep this guy in zone right here. All right. But getting back into it, all right, what we're going to say is we're going to have a slightly different check instead of ice, very similar to ice, but a slightly different check against the 3x1 formation right here. What we're going to call is we're going to call this slip. All right, slip. Like I said, these names, I don't want to. I've learned these actually as different names, okay, and I don't want to be giving away the coverage concepts to some teams that I know, right? So you can call these whatever you want, right? It doesn't matter what you call these guys, but what slip is saying is that to your curl flat component, it's really going to be playing the same thing as you would in ice, all right? Curl flat component is really playing your traditional spot drop cover 3. Your corner is still playing your traditional spot drop cover 3 if you get any type of verticals right here. With this guy expanding real hard or something like this, he's going to be splitting the difference because he's not getting this guy carrying up through the seam right here. He's really, like I said, splitting the difference, playing the divider, 60-40 towards number 1, as I would want to. But you can coach that however you want in your traditional spot drop cover 3 to be able to have that guy on any type of verticals, all right? Where this is going to change a little bit is for your next 2 hook defenders underneath, all right? So like in our ice call, these guys are going to be playing hook droppers to their sides of the ball, right? Now what we're going to say in slip is instead of that is we want to be able to defend that concept I just drew up, right? If we run verticals out of this set right here from the offense, all right, we've got this curl flat component to be able to help out on any type of a comeback or any type of a sail or something like that from number 1. But our corner, excuse me, so he's helping out with number 1. Let me just write a slip up here real quick that went out whenever I cleared out this curl flat component. But all right, so we're playing slip to the side. All right, this corner is going to be leaning toward number 1 as he's vertical. All right, what we're gonna say in slip is that these next 2 hook defenders inside, instead of playing traditional hooks, these guys are going to be playing their 3x1 check against this formation. All right, so let's recall to our 3x1 check against the 3x1 and rip Liz coverage. Right, what are we saying in that? We're saying that this guy inside right here is going to be our overdrop 3 defender. All right, so he's overdropping number 3 and pushing to that number 2, whoever that guy is to that side. All right, so he has no vertical responsibility, but he's overdropping this number 3, in this case this H right here as he's running vertical. He's going to be pushing to wall number 2. And if this number 2 were to sit down and we had something like a spin concept or something like this, right, he'd be matching this number 2 right here. And then we would get in this spin concept, right, something like this. You could actually play somewhat in between, but we'd have a curl flat component right here. And our corner is actually the one that's going to be able to come down and drive down on this to be able to play this. All right, so if we get this, he's overdropping number 3. Our corner is now able to drive on that. Still got our middle field safety over the top to help out anything underneath. But that's going to be our strong hook component against 3x1 in slip right here. All right, let me drop slip just so we are able to see this a little bit more clear right here. All right, slip. All right, so our overdrop 3 defender and our curl flat defender right here. All right, those guys are covered down right here. Right? Obviously, we still got our deep third player. He's playing the same way he would in ice as more of your traditional spot drop cover 3. Goes without saying, this middle field safety is still playing in the middle of the field. Same way he would in rip Liz, same way he would in ice. But that's the first place that this is going to change for this slip coverage. All right, is this overdrop 3 defender. The other guy that this is going to change for is this next guy underneath right here. Okay. In this case, we're going to call this guy our 3-up defender. All right. Same way we would in our traditional spot drop cover. Same way we would in our rip Liz coverage against regular 3x1 formation from the offense. These guys were open and more spread out right here. This 3-up defender is going to be carrying and matching whoever this number 3 is back to his side vertical. All right, so like I said, we can, in this scenario, man up this guy backside. Instead of playing ice, we could play just traditional rip loose coverage. This guy would be the 4 and first crosser. I'll go over that in a second. But if we had a shallow or something like this right here, with this number 1 right here running a shallow, this corner would be matching this guy as he's vertical, right? So that's why we need somebody to be able to match whoever this guy is vertical, number 3, back to his side. That's going to be a 3-up component. He's going to be tracking that low inside hip of that guy as he's vertical to be able to carry that guy vertical, all right? So slip really is a very similar concept to ice. The only difference is we're saying that this strong curl, the strong hook component is going to be overdropping number 3, pushing number 2 to that side. And this 3-up component, this weak hook defender, is going to be matching whoever the 3-up is to that side, as if it was man-to-man coverage, trucking that low outside hip, ready to rob anything underneath, and still playing with help because he's got this middle field safety over the top. And if we're playing ice backside right here, he's also got this corner to help out over the top as well, which is why we want to be tracking this number 3 vertical. We want to be tracking this low inside hip, cutting off between him and the quarterback, and able to get help from our middle field safety and play to our leverage right there. All right, so real quick, let's go over if we do not have an ice call to this. And actually, I think I made a small mistake. I'll correct this here in a second. But if we do not have an ice call, all right, what we're saying is that if we don't have an ice call backside to this boundary right here, this corner is going to be matched up one-on-one with this number 1 receiver right here, okay? So no matter where he goes, if he runs a shallow in this particular scenario, we're playing this guy man-to-man right here, all right? So this guy's going to be completely out of the picture. We don't got to worry about this. We got 4 guys front side to worry about, though. So this guy is going to be also playing more of our traditional rip loose coverage against 3x1. He's going to be playing the 4 and first crosser, same way he would in a traditional, like I said, 3x1 open set right here. And what that's saying is that he's got number 4 out to the flat right here, not counting this number 1 receiver based on the route distribution. And this 3-up defender is going to be carrying this number 3 vertical. And this 4 and first crosser is going to be carrying anything like that. So if we get something like this right here, that's going to be how that plays out right there. All right. 4 and first crosser, if we don't get any ice call back to this backside, he's going to be playing this as is right here. Okay. So if we do get an ice call, this is where I made a small mistake, all right? If we do get an ice call back to this backside boundary right here, okay? Say we had something like this, and we had an ice call with our corner over here and our safety. What we're saying in this scenario is that our corner would be playing our deep third, obviously. Our safety right here would be playing our zone, and he's actually not playing 4 and first crosser anymore. He's really playing our spot drop 3, kind of our same as our curl flat component over to this field right here in slip or ice. But if we're playing ice, we got this right here. And we also got our hook defender over to this side. So what ice is actually telling this weak hook defender is what I meant to say is that if he gets an ice call to his side, he's playing our spot drop 3. All right, so he's not playing 3 up anymore because we have our backside corner to be able to help out with any overs over the top right here. He'd still be able to get depth with this and expand with this vertical, but he's actually going to be pushing with this towards this hook window right here. Okay, so if we get something like this right here, let me correct this. If we get this concept right here, that safety would be pushing right here, our hook component would be right here, and our corner would be the one over the top to be able to help out on any type of overs back to his side right here. If we get this, he's expanding, able to muddy up that picture for the over right there. But like I said, we got a corner over the top who's not chasing any unders right here to be able to help out with here. But ice is basically going to be telling that hooked component to his side and this 4 and first crosser component as well. They're going to be playing their spot drop cover 3. This guy would now be your curl flat component back to that side. This guy would now be your hook component back to that side. And we have no 3-up component to be able to match this guy right away. And our overdrop 3 is still pushing overdropping 3. They're still playing slip over here, right? But our backside is now playing ice, if we're calling this ice. And it's up to you, right? You can call ice. You can call just traditional Ripley's latch. You can latch this guy backside and play this guy man, in which case this guy's going to be turning into your 4 and first cross player. This guy's going to be turning into your 3-up player right here, matching this guy as he's vertical. But a couple different ways to play your 3x1 condensed formation, right? Up to you as a coach based on whatever the common route concepts that you're going to be expecting for that week are going to be. You can kind of change it up week to week and be saying, hey, this week because they're running a lot of goes, we're running a lot of this concept right here. We can play just traditional latch backside. We can play, if they're running a lot of shallows right here, right? We can now play ice backside. It's up to you as a coach to decide when do you want to implement ice backside, when do you want to implement your latch cover 3 backside, matching this guy up one-on-one, and when do you want to play your slip. I really recommend playing slip to any type of a condensed 3x3 set. That way you're just not getting, you're automatically turning this into your spot drop zone to this 3 receiver bunch side or cluster side, whatever you want to call that. Because you're most likely going to get a lot of switch releases out of this, and this is kind of just making it easier on your guys to be able to say, all right, we're not exactly reading, we're not going to be carrying this guy if he's vertical. We're going to be spot dropping to the specific spot. Whoever comes into that zone, you're matching that guy, right, for your overdrop 3 or your curl flat component. That's basically the rules for those guys, which makes it a lot easier out of this particular coverage, right? But that is Ripley's coverage against both 2x2 and 3x1 condensed formations. If you guys have any questions, if you want to see how this will work out against particular route concepts or plays that you want that to see, feel free to drop that in the comments, and I'll be happy to go through those in a Q&A video as well. But yeah, man, if you like what you see in terms of the software that we have right here, this is footballu.com. This is my company. I actually started building this out while I was still playing in college. It's come a long way since then, but to give you a quick demo real quick, since you stuck with me this long, what's really cool about the software is for your players, right? You can go in and assign out a practice script to your team. You can build this out in a minute or two, and your team can go in and actually rep out plays, right? So if I'm the H, if I need to get some reps in before a practice or something like that, we can go in. We have a mobile app for you as well. You have a whiteboard in there you can draw up. But your players can go in and actually practice out drawing out their assignments. So if I got ace flip short white cross, I was an H, I was supposed to run a quick out, we can go continue right here, and your player can get immediate feedback on what their rep was, what they're supposed to do in that play. But basically allowing you to get walkthrough level reps straight from any phone or computer for players to come in more prepared to be able to practice out plays. Players can run through this as many times as they want as different positions, but yeah, man, I'm excited with what we got right here, man. Been working a long time on this, and happy to finally have something that is that I'm really proud to present to coaches and teams. So if you'd like to check us out and support the cause and support what we're building out here, footballu.com. We're offering individual packages, and you can sign up for $12 a month, and then you can add your team as you go, and use it as a tool for your players to go in and get at-home reps straight from any phone or computer. So anyway, that is Ripley's coverage, cover 3 match against a 2x2 condensed formation and a 3x1 condensed formation, visualized with Football U.